Hey everybody, just let me know in chat whether you can see me and hear me and everything is good before we get started. It should open up in the next minute or so, and then we have a 5 minute wait time as people set up. But just let me know that you can hear and you can see everything. It looks like I don't have the game active, so just 1 second. It should be there any second now, and all right, here we go. I think we're good. Just confirm that for me so that we are good to go. All right. Thank you, guys. It looks like there's about the same delay, which is good, 10-15 second delay between what I say and when chat appears. So just keep in mind that everything that is happening in here it's delayed a bit, but I prefer it that way because we're able to see like reports and things going on, and it doesn't interrupt the play because 15-20 seconds later it's already happened. So we're good there. All right, so we are spectating from the point of view of the Lion team in Group A of Peak of Glory. Yes, thank you, James. I did get the Undead March, so unless BlueStacks crashes again and I have to redo it, then I think we're all good here. So this is Peak of Glory, and it's the Continent 1, so it's the big guys. We'll take a quick look. We still have like 3 minutes here, so we can take a look at the kinds of players that we have in here. There's some really big names, a lot of participants from the past All-Stars, and on both sides, actually, both teams have some pretty massive players. A lot of people that did qualify to the semifinals are very, very experienced players. There's some that are new faces, and we'll see how that all goes. I'll take a quick look at the other map, see how many have joined in already. Looks like they're still setting up, but there's quite a few. There's just so many players in the All-Stars battlefield. It's more than usual, so it's gonna be pretty congested, and we'll see where they set up on the map. Okay, so some questions regarding the mini event that I have going on in the stream. So when there is a keep that is on fire, somebody that has been zeroed and is burning and they're on fire, I will announce in chat and on the screen that the roof is on fire. But you're going to see it in chat about 10-15 seconds before you hear it from me because of that delay. So make sure you are paying attention to chat, and that when you do, you have your player ID ready and you put it quickly into chat. The first 10 people that are in there that have not already received the package will get the little streamer gift from Evony. But if you did receive it for sure in the previous stream, or you received it from a different streamer, then you cannot get it again. So one thing I will ask is, last stream there were some people that were like, I'd say the roof is on fire, and then people would spam for like 5 minutes. It's just the first, in this case, it's the first 10 people. So if it goes beyond 20, just know that you're not getting it. So there's no point in spamming. Wait for the next one. That way it will work. So hopefully you guys understand those rules. They're in the description as well. And remember that it's 1 per account for the entire duration of All-Stars. So if you got one in the last one, you cannot get it today on that account. But if you have a friend, or you have an alliance member or somebody that you want to get it for, then that is absolutely fine as well. Okay. Looks like in chat people are asking to remove decorations and stuff, and my guess is just because, with the massive amount of people in here, their lag as players would be quite high, so they want to try to limit the latency that they have in their play. I'm going to read through chat. There's still about a minute before we start, and if you guys have any questions or you want to know anything before we get started, then now is a great time. All right. Hello to all of you. Yes. Go ahead, Rocky. Ask your question. Put it in chat now. We still have a minute left. When do you get the reward is a question. Yes, you get it I believe up to 7 days after All Stars, but I think last time it was like 2 days after. They just take all of the IDs from all the streamers, put it through some programming stuff, which eliminates any duplicates, and then they get sent out. So give it a couple days after the All Stars concludes. Last time too, they had a special promotion for the finals, and I would expect they do something again. So there might be another event for the next one. It depends what you're trying to do there. I assume you're using Napoleon for what, siege? If that's true, then yeah, just let me know. The reward isn't anything massive, but it is a fun little thing. I think it's like a couple hundred gems, and you get some material chests. I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's something free, right? All right, we've already started, and it looks like Lion Team is setting up in the northern central-ish part of the map, same as last time that we saw. They're setting up over by the portal. And I don't yet see Eagle Team where they have moved to, but usually they try to set up right next to them. All right, Eagle Team is down here, and Lion Team's a bit away. Usually you want to situate yourself like directly adjacent to the other team. It reduces march time, and less speeds are needed to be used, but they do have a little distance this time. So we already have some rallies to start off. And okay. Okay, so here's what's happening. There's a few players that decided to separate themselves from the rest of the group. They're, I don't know if it's a great move or a selfish move, because it kind of alienates you from the rest of the team right away. And they're coming in here and they're going to get points. Yes, they're going to get rallied because they're vulnerable, but the rest of the team isn't necessarily going to want to support you. So you're going to end up spending a lot of healing speeds to get the same amount of points that you would otherwise. Our rally came over here on to Tex. Let's take a look at the rough score so far. Looks like it was an all right defense. Score is pretty even. Hopefully there are some reports that come through. Let's take a look over here. It looks like Peter was getting hit with siege, is what he's saying in chat. And that seems to be a common staple of the 4th All-Stars, one that we didn't really see in the past. It is something that has been discussed over the while, that for some of these big players, as they grow to the several billions and up to the tens of billions, it becomes really hard to zero them. But because of the way that siege mechanics work, you can actually pick off the opponent's siege without having to face all the other units. So siege rallies are now very effective against some of these big players, and it can actually weaken them very significantly. And we're going to see a lot of that today, I think. All right, a rally over here on Cruise. And there's some Lions going here. I think there's another rally over here on Baby K coming from Lion. I don't know if it's is it going to land here? Yeah. Where'd the line go? There it is. Okay, so see the siege rallies. He was able to get a lot of points, but I'm sure that they have lowered him as well quite a bit. Lion Team is pulling ahead so far, but this is still very early. There's a lot of movement that will happen over the next hour or so, and then we'll start to see where things are trending. Still interesting that these players are over here all by themselves rather than play with the rest of the team, because the problem is if they are deciding to go here, they are relying on purely defensive play with very few reinforcements. They're going to end up just blowing through speeds. If they are with the rest of the pod, then they are able to join PvP rallies. But then at the same time, it's really difficult to get into those rallies because of the limited rally size and just the sheer number of players that are here. We also see a couple Eagle teams sneaking into the back that are hoping to do the same thing, the same tactic, try to get some rallies on them so that they can score some defensive points. We'll take a quick look at the score. Looks like the top 5 are sitting around 1,000 points so far. It's with these players, they're going to have a lot of troops that are disposable. Some of these players are over 10 billion in size, and they're going to be able to punch quite a bit through the rest of this match. So I am expecting to see some higher scores than in the preliminaries. JT is setting up a rally and a fake, it looks like. We'll see who it launches on. It comes over here to the Dingus, maybe? Or was it on Pentangle? It was on Tex. I believe it's the second time that Tex has been hit so far, down to 3.5 billion already. Not really sure what the starting place was. One unfortunate consequence of them being so far away is all the back and forth scrolling for me. But anyway, we'll manage. I think Baby K is getting hit again. It looks like they're trying to target and weaken the same players just to get them down a bit and soften them up so they can finish them off. Sigu, I'm not really sure how to say that name. Sigur, whatever. This guy's launching a rally, and it is going on. I don't know. Where'd it go? There it is. On King Darius. Still about the same score. We're still moving forward. Ash Candy looks like scoring quite a few points. I didn't see a rally on Ash Candy, but I think that's quite a few points to be offensive at the moment, so we must have missed that at some point. What else? Can you see Sevlo? I have not seen a player named Sevlo yet. No. Some people are spotting some unique castle culture choices. All right, still quite a bit of action at the beginning. So it typically ends up like this. There's a lot of action at the start, a lot of rallies going out. And then when we're getting closer to the hour, it's going to slow down. They're going to pick their targets a little more carefully. But they're just launching a lot at the beginning. And the reason for that is because a lot of these players right now have a lot of cavalry, and they're usually the easiest targets to pick out points from with some archer rallies. We see a lot of rallies happening over here from Pentangle. Let's see who we are launching on. They are coming over here to, it looks like DJ, or is it Mr. Hyde? Probably Mr. Hyde. Nope, it was over here, Trentos. Those disappearing marches. The score is currently sitting at, yeah, it's evened out now. Look at that. So there was a 2,000 point lead for Eagle Team, and now it is pretty much even. It's been a little back and forth so far, which is nice to see. Some good competition where our scores are getting into the 2,000s already. Mr. Hyde is launching a rally. I'm going to scroll down here and see who it is getting launched on. I'm not really quite sure. All this back and forth stuff. Lines everywhere. Lots of rallies going off. It's pretty active right now. Let's take a quick look at the map. It looks like blue is controlling the large majority of this map. A couple crystal mines and portals over here. Teleport chances are not going to be so huge. So keeping portals is not a big factor right now. But some of these other buildings like the rally hall would be nice to increase that size. And the towers are taken by Lion Team right now, which does increase their attack and defense. King Darius looks like another rally went off on King Darius, and JT is launching a rally on Baby K. Same targets again and again. And over here, Chiyomaru finally got hit. Let's see how these players are doing right now. Now we're up into the 3,000s. Yeah, it is a good idea to repeatedly target these same players, not only because it weakens their defenses and it makes it so you can get more points, but it also reduces the competition that you'll have in terms of qualifying for the finals. Okay. A lot of big castles here. A lot of these players were very successful in past All Stars, and it makes sense that we see these guys proceed into the semifinals. Mr. Hyde setting up a rally. A lot of people are being returned. There's just so many people needing to get points offensively where they can, but a lot of people are getting bounced. This player is down to 4.6 billion. So in case you're coming in a little bit later, just a quick refresher on the mini event that happens in the stream. When somebody does get zeroed, and it will take a while because this is continent 1 we're talking about. When somebody gets zeroed, you see fire, and I officially call that it's a 0. I'm going to type "the roof is on fire" in chat. So have your player IDs ready. When I do announce that and put it in chat, then you can paste your player ID. The first 10 people that are eligible for the gift will get the gift. Don't worry if you miss it at the beginning or you think you didn't get it. That's okay. There's going to be a couple people that get zeroed, so you'll have multiple options. And the gift is across the entire All-Stars. So if you got it yesterday, then don't bother today. It's only 1 per account for the entire duration. Chiyomaru is getting hit again. Should be some good points for Chiyomaru. Up to 2.5 thousand, yep. Ash Candy's in the current lead right now with 4,000 points. In the preliminaries, Ash Candy got rallied a lot. And I'm not sure why Ash Candy gets targeted so much, but it does seem to be a very popular target for the opponent. Another rally that I just missed over here on Chiyomaru, hitting the same target again and again. This one looked like it was a ground march. Well, I see a lot of ground generals returning. Meanwhile, the Eagle team is setting up a rally here. Who's it getting launched on? It looks like it's on Maximus. And it is on Maximus, who is now down to 5.1. It's always funny to say this player is down to this many billion when a lot of people would gladly trade accounts for those for those down to 3 billion, down to 2 billion. Hi Rainbow, thanks for showing up today. Pentangle is setting up some rallies here. Let's see where they're going. Wish I didn't have to scroll so much here. Okay, over here on Contour. 4.5 billion remaining. A lot of rallies happening. A lot of aggressive behavior right at the beginning. A lot happening from both teams. Lines everywhere. Score is currently sitting at, there it looks like the Eagle team is pulling ahead in lead. 4,000 points in the lead. This May probably got rallied a few times. Look at all those points. Kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't see that player up at the top. And Kuntor as well is increasing in points here. Yeah, I'd like to get some reports. Let me see if there's some available. But it doesn't look like they are getting shared so much, unfortunately. Seems like they're also thinking about how they would like to get some... Oh, no, still no reports. Sorry, guys. I'd love to see reports, and I really wish that Evony would work that into the spectator view, that we could at least find a way to look at some of those reports and dig into what's happening. But that is not a possibility just yet. Kranz is getting rallied, and it looks like Kranz is getting rallied again. No, that was one that just happened. Let's see how Kranz did. Kranz is at 2.7 right now. What kind of a march was that? He was talking about the other day in Alliance. He was talking about these deadly siege rallies that are just so painful as a big player, because you're very defensible for every troop type if you do it properly, but it's hard to be defensible against siege because there's really very little you can do to counter a siege rally the way that the siege mechanics work. So, all you can really do is buff up your own siege and hope that you pull ahead. But yeah, I mean, that's one of the best ways that you can break down one of those bigger players these days. Looks like a rally over here again on techs. Let's check the before and after if I can do it. 2.6 billion, and oh, that was just a solo archer march. So probably not worth it. Let's see if we can spot any other action. Looks like King Darius, I think like fifth time King Darius has been hit, and is now in the lead at 5,000 points. Score settling pretty much. It's about the same. They're keeping within a few thousand of each other, which is what we usually see here, until the end when troops are starting to get exhausted. I'm going to check through chat here, see if I can catch up on anything I might have missed. Yeah, there's a lot of people that have different opinions about All-Stars. I hear you. You're saying that if you qualified, you shouldn't be able to qualify again. I mean, I don't know if that would be, in my opinion, completely fair because some of these guys work really hard. But I think there could be like additional divisions or different opportunities for a range of players rather than just the biggest players in the game. I don't know. And I also think that there's been a lot of discussion about the way that points happen as well. And hopefully we hear from Evony some of their ideas for the future or some things happen. But we'll see. You're always, I'm sure they're more than welcoming of any suggestions. Whether they take them is different, but it never hurts to offer suggestions. Toot over here is at 5.4 billion after a rally. I haven't seen Toot climb up too much, but 3.6 is not bad for the moment. For the preliminaries in Group C last time, I think the qualifying threshold for the semis was somewhere around 10 or 11,000. So if people can crawl into that area, they might do some pretty well. Oh, is this a siege rally over here? It looks like it was a siege rally. And this player, Nada, is down to 6.3 after that. It's very interesting to see in the All-Stars how the meta of the game does change, because a lot of these players have to contend with some very unusually large players, and the way that and think of creative ways to break down those players. And we are seeing that a lot this time around, that there's a lot more creative approaches to bringing some of these players that are 6+ billion down. You really have to do that in different ways to be effective. Does seem like the rallies are starting to slow down. We are 23 minutes into the battle. So there are some exchanges, but they aren't quite as frequent as they were. Okay, some reinforcements coming in here. No, it looks like a rally is being set up with Mr. Hyde. Yeah, Wayne, I totally agree with that sentiment there. That one, the Wonder 3, regardless of how All-Stars go, the Wonder 3 requirement, just with the amount of players that there are now, and it just makes it an impossibility for so many people. So that one definitely needs to change. Not even a question. Chiyomaru is getting hit again, down to 5.4 billion. Doesn't seem like a whole lot of damage on Chiyomaru, so that must be some nice points for Chiyo here. It's 3.6 still. This is not a huge increase, but it is some movement. And a rally, I see a bunch of lines coming out over here. That was on Toot. Toot looks like moved back to the hive. I know Toot was down here for a while and did move up. We still have a few players trying to creep into the back door and get rallied, but it doesn't look like either team is really focusing on them. They're just exchanging punches. Love Letter, I believe, did the same thing in All Stars 3. Just saw this player at the other side, and they pretty much stayed there the whole time, expecting to get rallied. All right, rally happening here. Eye candy. Okay, here we go. So there was a close proximity rally on Styles, who I don't know if they got one reinforcement, looks like. So that might have been some damage, but like we can check out Styles over here is now up to 5,000. So it looks like Eagle Team is taking the bait because, you know, easy points, right? Easier points if there are fewer reinforcements. But we'll see how that goes towards the end game. What's this Red March over here? They are trying to take over the rally hall before it gets capped so that that rally size increase does not apply. Good idea. Rally over here on Love Letter, who is again sitting in the back door wanting to get some rallies off. I can only imagine that as a player on line team, for example, to watch that happen and to know that those points are just coming on a single player and there's no opportunity to receive points yourself, it must be a little frustrating because a lot of the longevity that you would have in this game is being able to reinforce, increase those layers, and withstand some of these rallies. But it is what it is. Looks like my camera needs to be reset. All right. Should be back now. Just let me know if my camera does go off. Sometimes that does happen. It's just a USB issue. Not enough power or something, even though it's powered. I don't get it. But it looks like there was a rally over on Mr. Hyde again, who's down to 4.4 billion. I'm going to check the scores. I'm going to scroll down the list. We're about 30 minutes in, so we can take a look at where players are sitting. The rough score at the time right now is not too far apart. We're at 72,076. Toot at 6,500 at the top. And I'll just scroll down so that you can check out some of these other players. And you might be rooting for somebody specific. So I'll let you take a look at these. All right. Okay, so while we were doing that, it looks like Thorad over here was rallied, and let's see if I can find some lines coming from the other side. I don't see anything super active. Oh, here we go. On Badger, that's a new one, and Badger's at 4.8 billion. I'm gonna take a look at some of these sizes right now. So it looks like a lot of these players that are participating in offensive rallies and possibly got a couple rallies on them have decreased by about 2 billion or 3 billion, you know, if they have high activity here. But there's a lot of healing that would be going on as well. So I can only imagine that the amount of healing speeds that people are going through right now must be quite extreme. You want to use them earlier than later. If you wait too long to use healing speeds, you have less opportunity to have really good defenses, and so you end up losing more in the end. But at the same time, you don't want to overuse your healing speeds, because if you're going to qualify to the finals, well, you probably want to do better in the finals. If you can just scrape by the semifinals, then that's fine, because we don't really care about the final score of the semis. It's the final score of the finals that actually really matters. So people want to be a little stingy on that, but still have enough to have the certainty of moving forward. All right, I'll see if I can see a couple of reports here. There's only one down there. I'll take a look. It's a defense on this player who had only 1.5 million reinforce. So it looks like just a single march, and it was just a solo against them. Not the greatest defense. Looks like it was a pretty good senior solo here. Siege, I believe. Or no, this is a ranged attack. They're just picking off some cavalry. Take a quick look at the battle details since it is a little slower now. Attacker. Yeah, well, we know they lost their troops because they lost the battle. But let's go down and see what they killed. It shouldn't be that bad to scroll through because there's only one reinforcer. Okay, here we go. So what kind of cavalry did this person have home and how much did they kill? Looks like the tier 13 are pretty intact. Wasn't crazy damaging. They did kill 1 million of the T14s, but it wasn't a really crazy attack. And I think there just wasn't a lot of cavalry to begin with here, and that's probably why they went with a solo, because definitely not worth rallying that with just a single 1 million T14. A rally over here on Dingus McGee. Take a look at the score real quick. Okay, look at that. Eagle team is pulling ahead, over 5,000 points difference right now. Even though a lot of the top players right now are on the Lion team, that's a result of the rallies, right? If you're consistently getting rallied, then you're going to score points. It happens. But just to see that despite that Eagle team is playing a little more offensive and they are racking up the team points, kind of shows that they might pull off the win in the end. See, a lot of these players, they're a little lower because they're playing a little more offensively, but as a team, they are scoring higher, which will help with the qualifications later. JT setting up a rally. Let's take a look at where that gets launched. It's over here on Pentangle. Who's at 5.8? Let's see if we can spot the difference here. Only 300 million power lost, so it was not a super effective rally there. And you can see all of the troops getting pulled out. It looks like there was at least 5 or 6 million of reinforcements, which makes that a pretty tough nut to crack. Wish I had a few more reports though. Yeah, some people are commenting that some of the players are not doing too great at the moment, and there's still an hour and a half to go. A lot will happen. A lot of what the people that score early points are a result of them being the weaker targets. You want to rally the easy ones to score points yourself. So we'll see some movement at the end. We'll see points go up, and some people will plateau and they'll just be overtaken. And then some other people will just start to shine a little bit in the later game. A lot be happening over here with Pentangle. I don't know if they are rallies. It looks like they were fake set, and there was a march. Let's see. Not sure where it went, or if it didn't happen. It looks like it possibly got canceled, or was it reinforcements? My guess, what happened there is they were thinking that there was another rally on Pentangle, but it was a fake, so a lot of people went to go reinforce quickly, and it instead went on Segu. It's at 5.7 currently. All right, a lot of troops coming in very quickly to Eye Candy. This is a rally being set, and the march is going on. Surge or Darius? Looks like it was Darius again, who's just getting targeted again and again and again this battlefield. They are pushing him up. I think at the rate that he's going to qualify. And they know that, so they are continuing to push him because, anything that he kills of their troops is not going to be helping anyone else on the Lion team. So you might as well push him up and try to earn points off of him. It makes sense. Okay, a rally also happened over here again on Segu. It was at 5.3 billion before, so maybe those are still the returning marches just from the distance. Because if they are not, then he either healed or they did absolutely no damage. iCandy setting up some rallies. Let's see where these are getting launched, and I'll try to do the before and after snapshot if we can figure out who it is first. It looks like it's Darish again, who was at he healed up to 6.2. That's a good move for him if he's getting rallied like that. Oh, that is a huge power loss, over 1 billion. And that's the problem. Like he might be healing a little bit too little too late, and now he's taking some massive power loss as a result. I don't know where he started, but that is pretty indicative of the damage that the Eagle team just did there. I'd love to see that report. I really wish that that some of these guys could share reports, but they're pretty busy too. So let's take a quick look at chat as I scroll through here. Darish is almost breaking the 10,000 point. And meanwhile, we're almost at 100,000 in terms of team score. Yeah, I'm glad that 2 players were removed for point trading, but I think that Evony was, from what I hear, they were in the process of investigating like, I don't know, 10 to 15 players, and they might not have just gotten around to everything. And it's something that has to happen quickly because they're already playing. So I think we'll just have to watch very closely to see if we can see anything that is pretty clear-cut point trading. A rally over here on Docks, and another one over here on Sav. iCandy setting something up. Try to get the before and after. If we can see the line, I'm gonna watch for it right here. Looks like it's Maximus. 5.1, and 5.1 turns into 4.7. Not the greatest of rallies, did a little bit of damage, but it looks like it would be net positive for the Eagle team in this case. Okay, a rally over here. There's a lot of reinforcements that got into this, but I do think this is a siege bomb, so I don't think it'll have a huge impact. It will have for layers, but it'll still do quite a bit of damage. Huntress. Let's see. Where'd you go, Huntress? You scored any points? Is that the first rally on Huntress? I'm not really sure. No, it's not. But 3,000 right now. There's a lot of players that are low there. I'm going to go right to the bottom. There's some really big players that still have not been able to score a lot of points. Some of the really bigger players. And the reason for that is simply because they have to rely on being purely offensive. It's very unlikely that the other team is going to go ahead and try to rally somebody that's over 8 billion, 9 billion, 10 billion, 12 billion. It's not an easy target. Maybe for a siege bomb, it might work, but other than that, they're not going to be the first target. So all the points that they have to earn, they have to do it themselves. They have to look out for themselves. And what I think we're going to see is there's going to be a lot of these scores made by players that are in the lower billions, and they're going to get up here to the 10,000 range, and they're either going to run out of healing speeds or they are going to have enough to go forward. There's a threshold that they have to meet. And if they do run out of healing speeds before they can do that, well, then they don't have any troops left, and the other bigger players are going to start gaining a lot of those offensive points and take them over. So, I mean, there's very different play styles for someone that is lower and somebody that is larger. Sav is now down to 2 billion. Now, this is getting close without heals. This is getting close to the range where this player could potentially be our first person zeroed tonight. All right, King Darius is over here at 11,000. They're still pushing his score up because, well, frankly, he's already going to go forward. He doesn't matter. If I was Darius, I would not be healing at this point. You're probably fine. I mean, you still have 5 billion power left, 5.4 billion power left. It'll still take you 3 to 5 rallies to zero you, probably. So you're going to have 15,000 points plus. So I don't think it's necessary to waste healing speeds anymore, but we'll see what happens. A rally over here on this player, whose name I am not going to even attempt because I don't speak that language, but that player is down to 4.1 billion. Some fast lines over here. I don't know if that's a scout or a speed. It is a rally. All right, and that player, Toot, who's been targeted quite a bit, is at 3.7 billion. Toot's now in third with 8,000 points. Probably not enough to go to the finals yet. And sitting at 3.7 billion, there's going to need to be a little bit of healing happening there to maintain that point lead. But we'll see how that plays out in the next hour or so. A negative title, interesting. I wonder what this player did to receive a negative title going into All-Stars on their server. It looks like there's some solo marches over here to pick off some cavalry. May has been attacked, down to 2.3. Okay, so we're getting a lot of people down to the lower 2 billions now after a few rallies. Things are really starting to happen. We're going to see some zeros within the next 20 minutes, I think. In the preliminaries, I don't think we saw one until about 40 minutes left. We only saw maybe 5 or so that were early enough to have the roof is on fire. I think it's going to be quite a bit more this time around. People are quite a bit more aggressive in this match. Some lines coming into Kranz. It looks like there is a rally, a lot of reinforcements. This is not going to turn out great, I don't think. Kranz is at 5.1 and Kranz is at 4.5. So it was okay. It was an okay rally, but it wasn't super significant. I think he'll be able to heal and recover from that and still get quite a few points. Kranz is currently at 5, so there's still quite a bit that he needs to score to move on to the finals. James, question: if you are posting Alliance member IDs numbers, can you post them? No, just post one at a time. Don't post like a list of 10 IDs. Just post one at a time. But you can do one now and you can do one on the next one and so on. Mr. Hyde rallied again. This must be like 10 times from Mr. Hyde. I feel like Mr. Hyde is one of the most rallied players so far, but I don't even see him near the top. Did I skip him? King Darius, Mr. Hyde, you're not here. I must be looking, okay, 31st. With all the rallies going on with Mr. Hyde, I would expect a higher score than that. I wonder what's happening there. Maybe the reinforcements are getting a lot more of his points. Rally being set up from Eye Candy, and it is launched on King Darius again. 5.4 billion to 4.3. That was a pretty successful hit. There must have been a fake over here on Chiyomaru because there's a lot of lines leaving. I'm thinking there was a fake or something. I'm not really sure. Sometimes it's hard to keep track of all these lines. There's just so many players. A lot of marches coming out of Darius still. That looked like some ground marches too. There must have been a second rally on Darius, who is at 5.3. So he's continually healing. He is healing and healing. He really doesn't need to at this point. I don't know. Maybe he feels that he's not safe yet, which is his call, right? We'll see where that threshold is later. Love letter over here, doing the usual love letter thing. Oh, look at that. I didn't see that. And now I see it. Bowser's on fire. The roof is on fire. I don't even know when that happened. Check out some. It looks like I have a few that I can check out here. This is King Darius losing 920. Yeah, he's constantly getting hit like this. 900 million power loss, even with all these reinforcements. He is just having to heal and heal and heal. I don't even want to think about how much money this guy has spent just on healing troops that he doesn't even need to heal anymore at this point. Man. Attack lost. Let's check this one out. This is Lion Team attacking Sav. Ooh, that's a nice one. 1.3 billion. It was a ranged attack, so they must have... Buffs are pretty overall good on this guy. But the unfortunate thing for Sav is nobody reinforced. 0 reinforcements, and that's really what happened here. I mean, I think with these kind of buffs, he was pretty darn defensible. His debuffs are all right, more than sufficient. If he had some reinforcements, he could have done a lot better than lose 1.3 billion. I mean, that's devastating. At least one march in there would have made a huge difference, but not a single reinforcement. Man, that is rough. Okay, let's take a look. Bowser was burning. Bowser's now at 2.5 billion, so he can be zeroed again, and that would work for me. Let's take a look around, see if any other action has happened. Got Pitch and Fork back here doing some solo pokes over on Unicorn. Grizzly was just rallied. Grizzly is down to 6.4. Looks like another one is coming in. It's a cavalry rally. Nope, a solo. Oh, I don't understand the purpose of that one. That's interesting. Did absolutely nothing. I don't know what that was all about. All right, Mr. Hyde setting something up, and it is launched on Bio, who's at 6.3. Couple marches coming out, so there were some reinforcements, unlike poor Sav. So I'm sure that Sav is not too happy with that. But 10,000 points, like, I feel bad for the guy, because 10,000 points, he would have had probably near that same amount of points, but he wouldn't have lost nearly the amount of power that he did. So he could have potentially in the end scored a lot higher than he will now, as a result of just that huge amount that he has to heal. Okay, something over here on Pentangle. Is it a scout or is it a rally? I'm not really sure. It is a scout. Some battle reports here. Thorad, thank you for sharing. Let's take a look. This is Darius. Yeah, man, this guy, even with 10 million reinforcements, 10 million reinforcements, that is multiple marches in there, tons of layers extra, still losing 1.2 billion power. What is going on? Like, it's... The buffs are okay. Is he just continually healing his cavalry? That must be what he's doing. He's just healing his cavalry again and again and again, and they're just whacking him with range rally after range rally. That's got to be expensive, man. Mask has just been rallied down to 1.2 billion. Ooh, the danger zone. The danger zone. And here we have some people sending solo attacks to try to finish off Mask. It's going to happen. 1.2 billion. Let's see after this ground march lands. There's going to be a couple solos going here. 1.2 billion. There might be some reinforcements in there. Yeah, this is not a good time to be soloing with all the reinforcements. Yeah. They're going to have to rally that. Meanwhile, it looks like Lion Team just rallied Sean Teddy, who I don't think has seen anything yet. And Pentangle as well, a double rally. I'm going to stick up here because I'm pretty sure that guy's going to be on fire pretty soon. King Darius again. If I swear, if this guy is still over 5 billion, man. Okay, he's at 4.5, so he lost another 1 billion. Another in total, this guy has to have healed over 10 billion of power just in the semifinals. What are you thinking? God, you don't need to heal anymore. Stop healing. You're fine. You're fine, man. Look at all the reinforcements coming out. Where did King Darius go? He poured it away. Where did he go? I don't know. All right. Looks like Ohei was rallied, and let's take a look at the score. It's been a while. We're slowing down. We're pretty even at around 135,000 for both teams. King Darius in the lead, of course. And the reason, this is something that's kind of funny and not great at the same time. Like he's healing a lot, right? We see that he's healed so much. His score is not improving. The reason he's not improving is really because of what he's healing. He's just healing his cavalry again and again and again. And I bet you if he shared those reports, if other people shared those reports and we dug through them, I bet you will see that his cavalry is getting massacred and he's just not getting so many points. It's the people that are reinforcing that are getting the majority of the points on those rallies. So I want to go down to his team because I want to see this this kind of a report and how much troops he's actually killing himself. Because I'm just thinking, you're healing 1 billion power worth of troops. You better be getting some return on that. I hope so. Man. And of course, scrolling through these reports is always a fun thing to do. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Gotta be getting close. Here's Bowser, who was already zeroed, but already back in the gameplay. I'm sure I'm missing a zero right now. I'll try to be fast. This is just... Oh, Sav, who is pretty low as well. Some people are getting in here. Okay, come on. Almost there. Badger. I think these are still the offensive ones. I think that was about 7 so far. Got to be getting close. This is this is one of the most frustrating things as a spectator here. I'd love to look at reports in detail, but you can't go through them so much because look how much time it takes just to scroll to find one thing. Here's Chiyomaru. Okay, finally. So troops lost. Let's take a look at what he is killing. He doesn't look like... Okay, these are the lower tiers. So you're not seeing a whole lot right now. His ground is killing a few troops. Keep in mind that there's 11.7 or so million being launched against him. And these are his kills. Considering he has tens and tens of million troops, he's not getting a whole lot. His cavalry is just dying. It's exactly like I said. His cavalry is dying. He's getting a few kills, but not a whole lot. This is definitely not effective healing from what I'm seeing so far. He's killed a couple million troops. So he's getting approximately 20% of the points in those rallies. But he's spending so much money to heal. Holy. Chiyomaru is down to 3.9, so that's a couple billion loss, I think, now at this point. Let's take a look. Mr. Hyde was rallied. Mr. Hyde's down to 2.7. Okay, that's a danger zone for Mr. Hyde. He's lost a lot of troops so far. So it's got to be eating into his layers at this point. A lot of his upper tiers are probably exhausted. Let's take a look at the score. King Darius still at 13. Yeah. King Darius, if you ever watch this, what you probably should do is heal some of the cavalry. I mean, this is my opinion. But heal some of the cavalry. You want to build it up, but you don't need to heal only the cavalry all the time. Let it die a little bit. Let it die a little bit and keep healing it so that the layers still exist and you still have a decent amount, but not the full amount every time, because you see what they're doing to you. You're getting like 500 points each time they rally you, but you're losing 1 billion power again and again. Anyway, I'm going to go off that topic because I could talk about that for a while. Mr. Hyde is setting up a rally, even though he's pretty small right now. It looks like he healed 2 billion. Nice. So he wanted to get back in there. He needs more points. And the attack is over here on Cruz, who is down to 1.8. Ooh, that's some good power loss there. Eye Candy, meanwhile, is setting up a rally as well. And it is on... Let's take a look if we can spot. It's on Darius, who's over here again, 5.4 billion. And Darius is now down to 4.5 billion. Just another approximately 1 billion, another 800 million or so. That's it. You know, I see some people commenting on Ghost and Cavalry and stuff. At this size, what is more effective than Ghost and Cavalry is really, I mean, it's... You don't really want to necessarily Ghost Cavalry because then you're not going to get hit. Nobody's going to want to hit you. And so you're going to lose your points. You're not going to be attacked, period. You probably just want to increase your cavalry stats, get some mounted HP in there so that they take fewer of your cavalry when they do rally. And that's a little more effective. Okay, what else is happening here? Take a look at some of these players. Love Letter, who's been sitting at the back. Not a lot of hits on Love Letter so far. Kranz is at 4.2. Bowser, who was already zeroed, he healed up to 2.5, and now he's at 2.3 after some offensive work. Cruz is over here getting rallied again, it looks like. Or scouted, at least. Probably zero soon. I'm going to read through chat a little bit. Okay. Yeah, and keep in mind that this is battlefield play, right? So the play that would be here isn't necessarily the same that you see in like server versus server. The point is you want to get hit. Server versus server, you want to score more points than they do, but you also want to conserve your troops because you could lose some stuff permanently. Here you get it back in the end anyway, so you just want to get the most bang for your buck. You want to be efficient with your point gains. Bowser is attacked again. He goes down a couple 100 million. It's not huge. I think he healed up to 2.5 again, and now he's down to, was it 1.8? So 1.9. So it's a decent attack, but he's already been zeroed once, so they know they can do it again. Score right now is sitting at over the 150,000s. Eagle Team pushing in the lead again, and it looks like King Darius continues to climb. A slow climb, but he's still in first place after all that. A couple other players are moving their way up. Sav was down to 1 point something billion. What are you at now? I wonder, where are you? I think he relocated. Where did Sav go? There's Sav. Sav is now at 2.1, so a little bit of healing to keep those troops alive. Still need a few more points, but he's probably just about in the safe zone, or possibly over the safe zone, depending on who wins. Eye Candy's setting something up. Or not. Here it is. Wait, it's on somebody nearby. Elon Musk. 2.5 billion. And now, what happened? Oh, did they get returned? I don't even know what happened there. Maybe they canceled that one. I didn't see anything happen. It is redirected toward Mr. Wayne, who I think has not been attacked so much yet. That's 7.1 and now is at 6.6. Okay. That works. I'd say it's a trade. A few reinforcements coming out, a lot of ground reinforcements. They reacted very quickly there. See if we can find some reports here. We can take a quick look at, let's look at a scout, because that's really all we've got here. Mr. Wayne shared a scout, and this is on Cruz, who was down to 2 billion or so, I want to say. So let's take a look at some of the troops. You can see that some of these layers are just exhausted. Archers are the go-to for many of the rallies here because they're trying to pick off cavalry. So they send the archers, but in doing so, it depletes your layers, and that's one of the most commonly healed troop because you need to have the layers present. There's just a few troops here. Yeah, this is tough because at this point, these ground troops that you have here, you have no cavalry whatsoever. You have pretty much no archers. I mean, essentially the equivalent of no archers, and you really got nothing but ground. So this is just ignoring reinforcements. This is really cavalry magic waiting to happen. There's gonna be some cavalry rally or potentially like a couple sneaky solos that might happen there depending on the size. But if there are reinforcements in there, which there very likely will be, then it might change things a little bit. I don't know if there were reinforcements. Let's take a quick look. Looks like, yeah, they're keeping some reinforcements in there because layers are pretty toast. Looks like there was a rally on El Jefe, who is at 2.3 billion power now. Mr. Wayne setting something up. See who that's on. Some other players trying to be sneaky and get in the back for some points. I think it's on Baby K. I'm going to test just in case. 3.9. I don't know where it landed. It's over here. This player's down to 2.6. A couple of reinforcements are returning. Who's this? Kranz. Kranz is setting up a rally. And it is being launched on Mr. Hyde again. 3.9 billion. Let's see what kind of damage comes in. Some of these reinforcements are a little slow. They're lagging behind. So it might have done some damage, but 500 million change, not super effective. It looks like there were still a couple of reinforcements that did get in. And something else happening? I saw another line. Okay, is a second rally. So yeah, okay. So overall, it was about a 1 billion power loss after the two rallies. They worked him down a little bit, and I don't know how that turned out. It might have depleted some of the layers, and it might be in danger now if he doesn't heal. But I think Mr. Hyde was doing okay in terms of score. I want to say, no, not really, actually. That's not a good place to be sitting after having lost that many troops after that many rallies. I think that he was probably hoping he'd be scoring higher than that at this point. He's going to have to do some healing. Yeah, he's in danger here. And he's not even past the point where he's going to be in the safety net to move forward. So we'll see. Okay, let's take a look at the score right now. King Darius, 15,000. The score for the teams is pretty much as it has been the whole time. I'll scroll through. I want to read through chat. Hi, Icy. How are you? Let's see. What else? Icons. Who are you guys rooting for? Who are your players in here that you're trying to see get to the finals? I know I'm rooting for Kranz, because he's in my alliance, and I definitely would like to see some representation in the finals. And there's a couple other players in here that I think are just fantastic players and very much deserving of being in here in the finals. Who are you guys rooting for? Who are you here to see? Huntress over here getting rallied, sitting at 2.7 right now after the rally. Only one player zeroed so far in this match. And we're at the 55. We're past 1 hour already. Okay, a rally over here on... I don't want to say his name necessarily. I'm going to call him F-Man because I don't want YouTube to get angry at me. Mr. Hyde is... Oh, a lot of lines coming in here. Yeah, some reinforcements on Surge or Surg. 1.4 billion. Oh, you're in danger, man. It's not going to take that much more to push you over. Let's watch for those fires. Get some marshmallows ready. Saw some green lines over here. Here we go. It's on Sigu again. 5.6. Meth bombs in Group B. You're in the wrong stream then. I mean, you're more than welcome to stay. That's awesome. I'm glad you're here. Oh, Docs has moved up. Well, I can't remember if Docs was there before. I feel like Toot was higher, and Docs has replaced Toot. Sav is doing pretty well. It's starting to slow down. It is slowing down quite a bit. I'm seeing more lines now, but the scores have settled a bit, and there hasn't been too much movement. I think they're being a little pickier with their targets now that a lot of the cavalry has been purged from some of these players. Take a quick look at the map here. All right, Eagle Team is controlling one of the Blessing Towers. The other one is contested. The rally point, the rally hall is continuously not held by anyone. It's been like that for most of the match. So most of the buildings right now are contested, and it's not that big. But do keep in mind that some of these buildings, if you let the opponent have them, like these guys have had it for over a minute, it is an increased attack and defense bonus to that entire team. So they don't want to let them hold those buildings for too long. All right, a lot of lines coming into Mr. Hyde. I don't know if that's a rally going off or if something's coming in. Mr. Hyde has been poked a lot by the Eagle team so far. And Sigu again getting attacked, still at 6.1 billion. So he's doing quite a bit of healing as well to maintain his place. He wants to stay defensible, not let his troops die off too much. Let's take a look at his score, because I don't see him in top 10. Okay, now he's broken into the 10. Still have a few players over here like Peter, and I'm sure Love Letters here somewhere. Yeah, of course Love Letters here. Like Love Letters always in the back door of the other team, just hoping to get some defenses in. I don't even know if this guy has PvP generals or just has a wall general. I don't think he's participated in anything offensively yet. Okay, there was a rally over here on Eye Candy again, who is at 6.2. Pretty solid place right now. I don't know where he's sitting. Not anywhere that they want to be. 26th place. That's not enough points. You're going to want a lot more than that. Mr. Hyde setting something up again. A lot of troops. Oh yeah, it's a defense. I see a line coming in. He's at 4.2. And there were a lot of reinforcements going in. This is not going to end well, more than likely. Let's see. 4.2 down to 3.9. 300 million power. That's a hard one to take for the Eagle team. Meanwhile, this looks like a quick one as well. So that might have been just a distraction just to get reinforcements in there. They knew they were going to lose something, but they get to hit a second target as well with fewer reinforcements. I don't see a lot of green lines over here, so I'm sure we'll see something pretty soon. Eye Candy setting something up again. Oh, no, maybe not. It's a rally coming in, and that's a lot of reinforcements coming in. Ooh, that's going to hurt. 6 billion. 5.6, so 400 million loss for this player, plus a few reinforcements. Not the greatest, but it's all right. Quick look at the score. Hasn't changed a whole lot. We'll just look at the top 10 real quick. It's pretty steady so far. We're getting close to the 200,000. It is lower point score than I'd be expecting right now. I think it will pick up in about 15 minutes. Things will pick up a bit. That's an interesting ground solo march on JT. What are you accomplishing here? You just went down 200 million. Okay. An attack over here on Mask, who's at 1.4. Could this be? Ooh, could this be something? No, it's just a single hit. That guy is going to be burning pretty soon, though, but it's too likely a target at the moment, so they might not go for it just yet. Some people are poking with some solos, try to work that down. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. Let's check if there's any battle reports that we can take a look at. Scout, and here is an attack loss from Toot. Just a senior solo march on this player. I can't say that name, but archers versus their cavalry for the most part. Seemed like it was not the greatest, but I don't know. Maybe he's just trying to wipe out that cavalry to set them up for a future rally. We'll see. Eye Candy's getting rallied right now. Let's take a look at where Eye Candy is sitting, and then we'll take a look at where he dropped. Oh, the lag is real. A scout report is taking a long time. Same thing as last time. It's just not even spinning. Here we go. Eye Candy still has 130 million troops. A lot of upper tiers. Still doing all right. I do not see any cavalry, though. No 13 and no 14 cavalry left. Not even a single one. Interesting. Let's see how that plays out. Probably want to heal at least a few of them, but that hasn't happened yet. All right, a rally over here on DJ. I don't think I've seen DJ hit yet. 6.3 billion. Okay. A lot of lines coming to Segu. He hasn't really been setting rallies, so I'm wondering if it is an attack. Again, oh no, it is a rally set on DJ again. DJ was at 6 point something, or was it 6? No, it was like 6.2. He didn't lose a whole lot. He didn't lose a whole lot at all. Quick look at the map. So this one was Eagle team before, I believe, and it's been contested, but Lion team let them take this one instead. Interesting. But they are busy. I mean, there's a lot going on, and everybody's trying to earn points. Some of these guys that hopefully that are going to be zeroed pretty soon. hopefully will start to help out a little more on those buildings. King Darius again getting hit. King Darius is now at 3.9 billion. So he's been healing and healing and healing his cavalry, but now it looks like he stopped healing his cavalry. If he's down to 3.9 billion. And hopefully he should be earning a few extra points. Well, for his sake, because man, I don't even want to know how much he spent on healing this time around. Oof. Couple lines over here. It looks like an attack on Sav. Sav did get pretty close to being zeroed before. He was down to 1 point something billion. Now he's down to just under 800 million. So he is in danger too, but his score is pretty solid so far. He's at 13-3. He's at 13-3. We're going to see this happen really soon. Yeah, we all know that that's happening right away. Even if some reinforcements go in there, they'll probably hit it anyway, just because those troops are down quite a bit. We'll see it happen. And this player has been just sending attacks over here to Mask. I'm not sure if he's what he's trying to do. Mask, he's trying to finish him off. Mask is at 900 and down to, oh, that was terrible. That was like 15 million, 20 million there. Eye Candy was just rallied. Eye Candy is down to 5.2. Still a lot of fight left. Take a quick look at the score. Yeah, at this point, King Darius, I'll say you're safe. Stop healing, bro. Sav, you're probably good too. Docs, I think the top three are probably in the safe zone, regardless of who wins at this point. Some of the other guys are probably safe too, but it's too early to call. We don't know what's going to happen in the last 43 minutes of this match. Tex was just rallied and is down, 400 million. 400 million. Now that is going to happen very soon too. Yeah, we're getting to the point now where troops are being exhausted. People can't heal as much because it's getting expensive. You're exhausting those healing speeds so much. And we're getting to the point where they're just going to stop. Like, I either know I'm going to make it or I'm not. And at this point, it's not worth healing anymore if I'm not close or if I'm safe. It's only the people that are in the middle that don't know for sure if they're going to make it or not that you'll see a lot of healing happening. Mr. Hyde's down to 3.3. A second attack looks like going on. Double rally. Yeah, second rally. So 3.3, 2.9. I feel like I saw another line coming. Could it be 3? A triple tap? No, just 2. So he's down to 2.9 billion. Hopefully he was able to get a few points here. And still, we see this guy just trying to poke at Mask and finish him off. Mask seems to be going up, not down. He's just losing all his marches for very little gain. Interesting. Okay. Tex over here was just finished off with a march from Love Letter, I think. And it is time for the next Roof is on Fire. If you weren't here for before, what happens is now the first 10 people to put their game IDs that have not already received the streamer package will be able to get the streamer package. It's not a huge thing. And please, after like 10 or 15 or 20, please stop spamming so that we can re-chat again. Because only the first 10 are going to get it. The first 10 eligible. And if you know you've already gotten it before, then don't bother, because the system just cuts your ID out if there's any duplicates. But it's 1 per account. So if you have friends, family, alliance members that you want to try for in the next one, you are more than welcome to do so. Okay, at this point, there's like 25. So you guys can stop. There'll be more. Don't worry. Be ready. Okay, Mr. Hyde is setting up a rally for sure. That's setting up right there. And the rally is being set on, let me get there quick. It's on Ohei. Ohei, who is at 4.5. has dropped to 3.9, 600 million power loss. not including the reinforcements. So that's decent. That's a decent one. Score right now overall, we're almost about, oh yeah, we've broken the 200,000 already. Okay, and there's 40 minutes left, so we're still gonna see quite a bit of movement here, especially from the bigger players, as the smaller players are exhausted in terms of their troop count right now. So I'm going to go through a little slower than that. Sorry, guys. Let me go through slowly so you can see some of your top players and where they're at currently in the standings. When do the streamer packages get sent to the winners? They should arrive, I believe, within 7 days after the All-Stars concludes. So you should have it next week. I think on the third All-Stars when it happened, it was like 3 or 4 days after. It wasn't that bad, but don't expect it tomorrow. I won't even be sending the list out until the finals has concluded. So don't expect it right away, but if you're included there, then you will definitely get it. All right, a few lines coming from both directions. Looks like there was something on Styles over here, who is now sitting at 3.3. Mask is no longer getting solo attacked. I think that player decided that it was pretty inefficient. You know, attack full march, lose 150 million power and take 10 million. Not a great choice, but yeah. Love letter over here. Looks like some reinforcement marches getting pulled back, but some attacks going out as well on love letter. This is I commented on this earlier in the video, but this I had love letter in the previous stream in All Stars 3, and it was exactly the same thing. Never participated in anything, just sat in the back and doing the same thing, moving from one place to another and expecting other people to hit him. But he's here, so it seems to be effective. Chiyomaru is at 3.4 after, was that just an archer poke here? A lot of marches going into Sigu. Toot over here doing the same thing. Toot was doing this at the beginning and went back to play a little offensive and is back as well. Now here's Grizzly, 4.4. We're going to see it more and more. What's happening right now is rallies are dying down. There are fewer troops to go out, and it also means less opportunity, right, to get in there offensively. A lot of people are still probably getting bounced just because there's so many people. And when that happens, you get frustrated. I'm not earning enough points. I can see there's only 40 minutes left, and I want to make it to the finals. Well, I'm nowhere close. I'm about like 5,000-6,000 points short. I'm going to have to find those somewhere. And somewhere for a lot of players is to go to the back and have people rally them because they're easier targets with fewer reinforcements. Eye Candy setting something up right now. And it is on Peter, who is now at 6.1. Hasn't moved a whole lot. Peter's still pretty solid at 6.1, but I don't know about the score. I don't remember seeing Peter over here. Yeah, he's not near the top. Still a lot needed. Some of these players that are in the 46th place. That's probably why he's being targeted. He's not going to make it at this point unless something drastic happens. He's not going to make it. So if he's only got, well, he would have had like 3,000 at this point, and now he's got 4,000 after that. They know that if they hit him and he scores a lot of points off of their troops, that it's not going to affect them at all because he's not going to qualify for the finals at all. So it's a pretty safe one to rally a few times and not affect anybody. Eye Candy setting something up again. Is it over here on F-Man 2.8? Nope, that was a scout. It was on DJ. DJ, who's now at 5.3. A lot of reinforcements being returned. So I can't imagine that that went too well. We're almost at the 30-minute mark. There's going to be a few people getting zeroed pretty soon. I can feel it. It's going to happen. And it's not going to be this guy. My guess is same strategy there. That guy must be pretty low. I don't think I've seen a whole lot from that player. Oh, he's right here. 10,000? No, not at all. He still has the potential to make it. Solo attacks over here on Nada and Surge. Oh, it's a scout. Quick look at the map. Most things of value are contested except Lion Team currently has a rally hall. That's an increase of 15% of their rally capacity, which is pretty good to have. I would want that. Pretty much everything on the map. I mean, a lot of these things aren't super valuable. I mean, we don't need the ports. I mean, as you can see, the teleport chances are nearly capped because nobody's really moving around except maybe Love Letter. But there's a few buildings that do have some value, and for the most part, they're contested. JT is just under 8 billion. Quick rally on JT. Over here on Mr. Wayne, it looks like they are setting up an attack, and it is being launched on, was it Kranz or Sandman? I think it was Sandman. Sandman, ooh, down to 750 million. 750 million. I see lines going in both directions. Okay, that was a scout. That was potentially another rally, but no, it's a scout. And you can see some reinforcements coming in, just precautionary here. Is that a march? No, these are just reinforcements coming in. Okay. It is getting a little slow. In about 10 minutes, I think what we're going to see is a lot of people doing the desperation move at the end, where they're trying to get those last points by doing some solos, going off like the other players to get hopefully attacked on the other side. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out. It's not really the top 5 people that are too worried at the moment. It looks like, wow, there's a lot of players right here. So I wouldn't be too comfortable even in the top 5. Maybe the first couple players are going to be okay, but anything below here, I wouldn't be too comfortable because there's not a lot of wiggle room. You have 11,000. That's not all that different from 9,000. That means there's 20 people within a range of overtaking you pretty easily. Peter over here getting attacked. He was at 4,000 points. And I think he was around 6 billion, I think. I don't know if he moved at all, but it won't be enough. It won't be enough. So 4,000, and now he's at 5,200. So he's not going to qualify. It's a pretty safe person to be rallying against right now. Yeah, pretty close scores. Like I'm very impressed with the very small range of scores. Anything can happen to a lot of these players right now. Anything can happen. There's still 30 minutes left. There's still a lot of time for players to move up. Looks like there's a rally over here on this player whose name I cannot say, and that player is down to 1.8 billion. A lot of lines coming up as well from this corner of the map, and that was Peter. Yeah, we saw that one. Check battle reports. Good idea. They haven't been sharing a whole lot, but I can see if there has been anything. Just a couple scouts. No battle reports, unfortunately. A lot of the communication would be through voice chat, so we're not going to see a lot except shared coordinates and so on. Sean Teddy has a lot of lines coming in. I don't know if they are reinforcements. No, it looks like it's a rally. And the rally is set on who? People getting returned. The rally is set on nobody. It was a fake. Aha, so they were responding to the fake set up by Lion Team, and they thought it was going to be on this player, but it ended up being on Bio. And Bio is now at 3.2 billion, so a little bit of power loss, but still very playable. Eye Candy, meanwhile, was setting something up, but I don't think they followed through with the attack. Or did they? Okay, here it is. Yeah, they're still hitting Peter. They know that Peter's a pretty safe target to hit. They can inflate his score a little bit, and he's not going to overtake any of their players. Good move. Some of these players were just around the 1 billion mark. So I think, was it, Tex was already zeroed? Yeah, Tex is zeroed. There's a couple players that are in danger. I don't know if they've been, I'm sure they've not been forgotten, but you don't want to just necessarily focus on the same target repeatedly because it's a little too predictable. I'm sure they'll come back to those ones that they know are pretty low. They're just waiting for the other team to forget. JT is, he was at 7.9 before he got rallied, so he healed a little bit and then took a little bit of power loss again, but I don't think that's going to hurt somebody that's at still 8 billion right now. Where is JT on the scoreboard? 35th place, 7,000. Yeah, he's got to get quite a few more points to make it forward still. Probably still 4,000 points that he's looking to get as a minimum. But there's still 30 minutes left. Sav was pretty low too. Sav is still at 700 million, hasn't healed a whole lot. Cruz, I believe, was low. Yeah, 700 million. There's a lot of people sitting there. A lot of potential targets to finish off. Some line coming over here to Eye Candy. Let me just check. Oh, 4.6. Oh, okay. It was just a scout. Bowser was zeroed and is now sitting at 1.4. I think I just saw him on the other side and checked them out, and he came over here to the back. He's scouting a couple people, trying to get some attention. I'm over here, come zero me. Mr. Wayne is setting something up. Is it going to be Bowser? I guess we'll find out. What is the target, Mr. Wayne? Okay, it's Pitch and Fork. So they hit somebody else that was over here in the back. Pitch and Fork down to 1.9 billion. Bowser over here getting, I don't know if it's a return march or a reinforcement. It came in pretty slow. But there is an attack going out from Slick. So Bowser was at 1.4 and is still at 1.4. Not too effective. I'm not too surprised. Some people are commenting. I'm pretty surprised that a player like JT is scoring low. It's tough. It's tough to be a big player and score high because you're not usually going to be the target of somebody's rally because they know you're really defensible. You're huge. you've got the troop count and you're a good enough player to understand how the mechanics work and to prepare yourself defensively, people aren't going to want to hit you, and if they don't want to hit you, you're not going to get points. So you got to get your points offensively, which is a tougher thing to do. Some of the other players that we've seen that have healed like 15 billion power, not nearly as strong, definitely not as strong as someone like JT, but they are in the position where they're getting hit so they can heal and they can earn those points. Eye Candy is setting up a rally, it looks like, and the rally is on Docks. Let's see if I can quickly get that. 4 turned into 3.6. Not hugely effective, but it works. Mr. Wayne setting something up as well. Pitch and Fork was at 1.9 and is at 1.6. So they did rally him, and then they rallied him again. Let's see how this one turned out. 1.6 turns to 1.5. Ooh. Ouch. That hurt. Either he healed a little bit in there, or it was an incredibly painful slam against the wall. Ouch. What are you sitting at now, Pitchfork? Pitch and Fork is at 14.5. He's got to be happy with that. Doesn't even have to do anything at this point anymore. Like, I think he's in the safe zone. But he did anyway. He's at 2.8 billion. So he decided, hey, I'm going to heal a bunch more because I can. Yep, he's going to go forward. He's going to be okay. A lot of lines over here coming from Pentangle. I think there were some reinforcements possibly, or maybe there was a fake that was set up. Yeah, that's not me saying the fire. No point in putting your ID. Got a few people here still in the back. Styles and Grizzly looking to be rallied. We have 25 minutes left. Of course, Levelator's down here as well. And on the other side, a couple of people that moved closer, but same strategy for a lot of other players, just like Pitch and Fork. Working well for some of them. If they know they're extremely defensible, then they're trying to earn those points, then you do what you got to do. King Darius over here at 17,000, still in the lead, but some other players are making their way up as well. And it seems like really the top 5, a lot of those players are ones that didn't really play with the team and just sat in the back. And that seems to be a very effective strategy to move forward, to just play by yourself and tell people to hit you. Shocking. All right. What else is happening here? Quick look at the map. How long have they had this? This has been red for a while. 10 minutes. Just going to let them hold that for 10 minutes. And this one too, like the rally hall. 15 minutes. They've just they're ignoring the buildings at this point. I mean, there's a couple players on each team that could be doing something, but I think some people just don't care at some point because it's not their alliance. When they're out, and it's just like, I'm done. Okay. It's getting pretty quiet. Not a whole lot happening on either side. And you know there are a lot of those players that are potential zeros. Doesn't take a whole lot more to push them over. But it is getting pretty quiet at the 20-minute mark. Let's take a look at the score. 228 to 232, and I'll scroll down because we're just waiting for stuff to happen. 1,500. The guy must have like logged in and just left. You should be able to get more than that even if you joined a few rallies. All right. Let's see some action, guys. Come on, we need some blood. This is the time that I would love to go through like a report, but there's nothing. It's so dry. Some lines going into this player, and it looks like a rally being set. Finally, 3.9 billion, but that's a lot of reinforcements coming in. Oh, a lot of people are pushing themselves out. He might have actually sent them out himself. It looks like all those reinforcements were, it looks like they were returned. Maybe not. Maybe some people recalled them, because I see a few more that that are being returned. They might have just recalled them when they saw what kind of marches were coming in, just to save their own troops. So he was at 3.9. What's he at now? 3.8. Oh, that didn't do a whole lot unless he healed. Another one over here. That was a quick one, not too many lines. He's at 565. That was one of the players that was a little bit low, and they're trying to finish him off. Got Sandman over here. It's starting to speed up. Sandman down to 387. Ooh, this is going to happen. I can feel it. 18 minutes left. Looks like Lion Team is the one being aggressive right now. Not a whole lot from Eagle Team happening. They're just kind of sitting there and waiting as the clock ticks down. And why are they doing that? Well, they've got a pretty significant lead at this point, 6,000 points. I'm pretty sure that the way that the point system works is the winner gets more players. More of their players get to go. So if they've got a lead of 6,000 points, they can afford to just sit there and allow Lion Team to waste their troops on them as they defend and just pull ahead. JT is moving back, doing some solo attacks, trying to get some last minute points. There's not a whole lot of time left, 18 minutes. But there are a lot of disposable troops when you have 8 billion power left with 18 minutes left in the game. Some attacks over here on Eye Candy as well. This is the point where you really want to be picking who you're sending your troops at very carefully. You don't want to inflate somebody that could potentially overtake you and prevent you from moving on. But at the same time, you need to pick targets that you can actually score points from. Mr. Hyde setting something up. And it is Sigu again. 3.8. Down to 3.1. That's pretty decent. That will work. Styles over here, sending some marches over here to surrounding players. Kranz, Pentangle. JT is, I don't know who he's hitting. This guy? Not really sure where those lines are coming from. We're getting down to the final minutes. I really think that we need to start seeing some fires. It's getting, it's pretty slow tonight, but I mean, these Continent 1 players, some of them are just so massive. It is hard to zero a player this big. And I mean, just considering the amount of people that are on both teams, there's so much more potential for reinforcements as well. Like when you have so many people surrounding you, you only need a couple people to be quick enough to reinforce. Kran's down to 3.4 billion, and JT over here looks like he was rallied as well. JT's down to a measly 5.5 billion. So small. I say that sarcastically, obviously. Still double my size. Let's take a look at some scores. It's going to get crazy pretty soon, so I want to do a quick look at where people are at because things will change very quickly. Still a lot of players sitting around that 11,000, 10,000 place. JT, who we saw last, was at 7,000, has been scoring quite a bit of points here. He did had a rally on him, so he scored easily 1,000 points there, and a few solo attacks. And we have quite a few players that are below 7,000 that are probably no longer going to be qualifying. Pretty safe to say at that point. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of players that they have to wager, or they have to make a decision on whether healing up and really trying to blow your troops and really spend a lot of money realistically on healing, whether it's worth it to move on to the finals. And for some players, maybe it is. I mean, we saw clearly for some players like King Darius, they'll do anything to heal up and get into the next round. And then there's some other players that are on the fence that are like, yeah, it's not that important. And those ones are just sitting down waiting for the clock to run out. We do finally see a few rallies happening on line team setup 2 just now. Eye Candy's setting something up. I don't know who it's on. Cruz is getting solo attacked here. Oh, Cruz down to 168. I'm pretty sure that this is happening right now. That's got to be finished. And yes, it is. Finally, the roof is on fire. Bowser's over here. He's pretty low, I believe, too, unless he healed up. Oh, I can't even click on him anymore. Some people moving around, making it hard to click. We go take a look on the other side, see what's happening here. Yeah, pretty much everybody's moving over to the Eagle side. There's a little bit of action on this side, but a lot of the line team have moved over to the Eagle, who have decided not to do a whole lot so far anymore. A lot of lines moving around right now. We're at the 13-minute mark. A rally over here on JT, who's at 5 billion. He's at 5.5 billion before, so I think he dropped another 500, but that would be inclusive of the attacks that he's been putting out. So I don't think too bad for him. That's definitely more than 10 people. You guys can stop posting at this point. Take a look at the score. Some movement, but similar names staying up there. Yeah, there's just so many people in that range there. It's going to be hard to determine how much to put in and how much healing is absolutely necessary to move forward. All the action down here in Eagle Team. One lonely player over here. Somebody that's zeroed. Just sitting there, bothering the Knights Hall. All right, let's get back to the action. Bowser's over here, and if I'm not mistaken, that looks like there's some fire there. I gotta... Yeah, that is fire. And hearts and balloons. Or is it fire? I can't tell. Now it's fire. That's definitely fire. Here we go. The roof is on fire. That's the second time Bowser is zeroed. There's going to be more. Keep your IDs ready. Remember, it's only the first 10. So if you're seeing like 15 people that have already posted, relax. You're not doing anything by spamming. I mean, I'm going to manually go through. If I see the same people posting their ID like 6 times every time I post it, I'll just remove it. So chillax, wait for the next one. This is across the entire All-Star. So even if you don't get it today, even if you didn't get it in the prelims, you can still get it in the finals. A lot of lines going around, but it's kind of hard to keep track of what's happening. There's a lot of solo efforts, lines going out everywhere. Not really sure what's happening. Bunch of speeds over here. I think I just saw... something. Looks like a quick rally. No. Those are reinforcements. Ah, here it is. And nada is now zeroed. The roof is on fire for nada. Let's go take a look at the other side of the map. We still have Cruz there burning. He's not put out his fire. Bowser. All right, officially 10 minutes. 10 minutes left. Semifinals of the 4th All-Stars. I want to just take a quick pop around the map, see what some of these ones over here are doing. King Darius is over here all by himself. He's like, I'm done. I spent $100 million healing my stuff. I think I'm done for today. I'll do the same in the finals. A lot of action. It's the final countdown. Yep. 9 minutes. Quick peek at the score. Some people are working their way out. That's what I'm saying. Like there's so little wiggle room. Even if you were sitting at 12,000 before, you shouldn't be too comfortable. There's a lot of people that are climbing very, very quickly. A lot of lines going to Pentangle. A lot of lines. This is multiple rallies. Possibly some fakes, but that's a lot of lines. And over here on JT. Oh, he must be happy with that. JT's down to 3.5. Can they zero him? I would love to see that. I'm sure he'd love to see that too. Feed me. Sandman over here is burning. I don't know when that happened. And I know he's been low for a while, but that is not something that I have noticed yet. So maybe it was a quick solo. The roof is on fire for Sandman. And some of these players that are sitting over on this side, they've probably just gone. They're probably no longer at their phones. Because if they really wanted points, they would be moving over here to Eagle Team. All the action is down here now. All right, some stuff is being sent into crayons right now. And it looks like an attack on Unicorn. Unicorn's at 1.4, and reinforcements did not make it in time. Unicorn is down to 880. An all-right attack. This is, keep in mind, this is the very end of the match. A lot of players have exhausted most of their troop counts, so their rally marches might not be ideal at this point, and squeezing 500 million is perfectly fine after such a hard-fought All-Star so far. A lot of lines coming out. I think that was where JT was, and that's all the reinforcements that are being returned. What's going on here? Mr. Wayne was trying to force port Bowser. Bowser just teleported, looks like. Right. Some more attacks over here on Unicorn. Unicorn's at 820. Dropped another 60 million. It looks like just a couple solo pokes to lower him a bit. It's all individual play right now. Not a whole lot of team play happening. People are just trying to get the last bits of what they need to move forward. I'm going to take a quick peek of the score, but I don't want to stay there too long because there's a lot happening. This is where a lot of people are just going to make great decisions or pretty terrible ones. We'll see whose scores are inflated and who really is going to be moving forward. Right now, the safe zone seems to be around 13,000. Like if you're 13,000 or above, you're probably safe regardless of which team you're on. But look at the difference in terms of the score. Eagle team, they had that 6,000 point lead. They knew they didn't have to do anything more. So Lion team had to come over and start working themselves and playing a little more solo play because there's fewer Lion team people that are going to be able to make it forward. And a lot of those are going to be already taken by these three. Yeah, so it's tough to be on the Lion team right now. You really need to be pushing forward to get as many personal points as you can. So you might not even necessarily want your teammates at this point to get any points because it's going to negatively impact you. It's kind of a weird philosophy for what is a team game, but yeah, it's all about you right now. Final 5 minutes. A lot of lines going into Sigu. And Mask as well. A rally on Mask. Mask down to 700 million. So people are trying to solo as well. See a couple people that went in, but it didn't seem to work. A couple solos as well going over here on Bucko. Almost down to the final 3 minutes. I'll check out the scores at the 3-minute mark. We'll just take a quick peek. But yeah, there's no question that Eagle team is going to win. So they're going to have the advantage here in terms of the players moving forward. So the Lion team, they're just trying to squeeze out any individual points they can. That's why you see a lot of Lion team just sending off solo attacks. There's no point in being in a rally anymore because if other people are scoring points, then it means it's pushing you down. Okay, quick look over here at the score. I'm just going to do the top 20. Scroll down. Yeah, it's I think anything really below 15. If you're green and you're below 15, you're in trouble. You're in some pretty serious trouble right now. Have some solo attacks going on and some random players. But a lot of these players are just not trying anymore. Mask is finished off. Zeroed at 126. The roof is on fire for Mask. Two minutes left. Surge is zeroed. I feel like Surge was already zeroed previously. I know he was sitting on a different part of the map, but he might not have been. So just to be safe, I'm going to say the roof is on fire for Surge. He is burning. Oh, and meanwhile, Mark right now is burning as well. And I'm gonna have to delay until I see about like 10 people having posted their IDs because, I mean, what would be the point of a double roof is on fire? To give you guys more opportunities to get your IDs in so that you can get those rewards as well. 1 minute remaining. Some exchange here. Looks like JT and Chimaru trying to squeeze in some last points. Here's Mark's roof is on fire. And Toots over here as well. just over 30 seconds remaining. A lot of final individual play action. I will open up the score menu right after we get to the end here, and we'll see what the final tally is, and who is going to proceed to the finals. I don't know if there's going to be any more fires. We're down to 15 seconds. And at this point, not all of these attacks are even going to hit because of the server processing lag. So I think it's pretty much it. I'm going to call it. There's 3, 2, 1, and it is over. Here are the final scores. So Eagle Team 281 and Lion Team heavily behind, especially because of the final 10 minutes here of individual play. King Darius finished at 18,000. That is the highest score. I'll scroll down and I'll let you look for your individual players to see who qualified. And I'm just going to check out chat. You guys can probably stop with the IDs. There's not going to be any more fire burning. The game is over. But you definitely get another opportunity when we go to the finals in 2 days. And I hope you'll join me for those. Those will be pretty exciting. But a lot of people did not make it, and it's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow, knowing that you could have made it if you had different opportunities that other players did have. But that's just the way it works out. Some days you get lucky, some days you don't. And I do want to thank everybody for tuning in and for being here to watch the semifinals. It was nice to have you here. And thank you for filling the chat with all your player IDs. Now I have all your numbers, and you never know what I'm going to do with them. I'm just going to give you gifts. That's all. I'm just joking around. But that is it. I'll stay around for the next couple minutes if anyone wants to chat. But that's the end. I'll schedule the final one probably tomorrow. So subscribe if you're not subscribed, and you'll get a notification of when that happens. Alrighty. That is it for the semifinals. Take care. Thank you for joining. Thanks, Apollo. Thank you, guys. I know a couple people had some questions, just like general questions that they were asking at the beginning. If you're still here, now is a great time to go ahead and ask them. Just a couple minutes of chat if you want to stay. And if you have not had the opportunity to join the Discord, you're more than welcome to do that. I don't know if I'll go and grab the link right now and I'll put it here just in case you are interested in joining that. All right, here's the Discord link if you were wanting to watch that. Or if you were wanting to join the Discord, there's a pretty good community of people there. So if you like to talk about Evony, or you're looking for advice or giving advice or anything like that, feel free to join that. What subs am I rocking? My subs suck. They're really bad. I'm really lazy and I haven't worked on them. I have a couple okay ones, but they're just crap in general. There's only a couple here that I would want to keep. Not too great. Some other players have way better subs than that. No problem, guys. Thank you very much for watching my videos. It's very much appreciated. Norman is asking, is it better to push keep to level 33 from 30 or get all buildings to 30 and then push to 33? I would definitely say you want to push. You want to push your keep level as much and as quickly as possible. And that way you'll become a whole lot more effective. I mean, there's a couple of reasons for doing so. First, if you have a lot of troops and you're worrying about playing the game like that, you're going to have upkeep that you're going to have to worry about, and it's going to really stunt your growth. But if you don't have to worry about significant upkeep, it's a little less boring, or it's a little more boring, but you will get there faster. But that being said, you have to be in a good alliance for that to happen too. Like if you're not in a good alliance that has a lot of boss rallies and stuff happening, then it's also going to be less effective because you're not benefiting from the fact that you're getting speed ups. So you want to be one, in a great alliance that has consistent bosses, and two, you really want to push that keep level. There's even buildings right now that I don't even have at 35 or at 33. So, I mean, I haven't even worked all my buildings up to that point. And I would not do so unless I had a reason to do that. Do the required buildings and worry about the absolute necessities so that you can get your upper tier troops and you can have complete layers. That's a lot more important. What is the best dragon to unlock? Best dragon depends on what you're using it for. My favorite dragon is Fafnir. And the reason it's my favorite dragon is because it's multi-purposed. Mounted troop attack, and like the whole purpose of having the Fafnir is because you have mounted troop attack and you can refine it for mounted troops, so that you can use it on world bosses, and PvP with cavalry as well. But cavalry also is not the strongest usually troop to use except in certain scenarios. So if you're looking for something else, then I mean, archer dragon, the easiest and probably the go-to for pretty much everybody would be Celtic Demon, an easier one to achieve and to build up. So that's an excellent choice. My favorite dragon in terms of all the other ones is I really like Dragon of Thebes, and I'm still working on mine. It's still only level 7. It's a slow process. I could spend a ton of gems and get it to 10, but I'm not in a rush. But yeah, like there's a lot of different choices. Depends on what you're trying to go for. You were saying before, do you think it'd be fair for the ones who haven't gotten Wonder 3 for the ones who had it already wouldn't be ranked? You know, I think I agree with you. I kind of understand what you're saying, Haljon. How I think it should work is kind of like the way that I'm doing these packages for the streamer gift, right? Like when I say the roof is on fire and then 10 people post, I'm not going to take the same 10 people every time, regardless of whether they got it or not. If they've already gotten it, I'm going to skip them and I'm going to take the 11th place and the 12th place and so on. And yeah, I would agree with you. Like if they already have it, yeah, they came in that place, but check whether they have it and then skip to the next person so that it trickles down. Because if it's just going to be the top 100 every time, then nobody's ever going to get it except the same people that already have it who don't really care. Yeah, so I agree with you that I assume that's what you're thinking of there, but I do like that idea. That's great. What else? 100% gold Russians. Can I have those? You send them over to me. I would really like those. Yeah, I'll trade you. You can have my blue Russias and give me your golds. How long have I been playing? I started on server 40. This is a server 40 account, and we merged. So I think that was a couple months after the game was released. Was server 40 like it was pretty rapid at the beginning. They were just launching servers like every day. Like they were just coming out. So it wasn't that long. So it's been several years that I've been playing. Where am I from? I am from Canada. Right now I'm in Edmonton. Yeah, you'll gift them to me. Awesome. I'll expect a gift package. I'll be looking for that tomorrow. And what else? Oh, that is, I mean, that's both fortunate and unfortunate that, well, your friends quit, but you got a bunch of good subs. Just don't lose them. I mean, it doesn't take much for somebody to get zeroed and lose everything, right? That's the game. One slip up and you can lose quite a bit. All right, guys, I'm going to give it another minute or so, and then I'll close off the stream. But you guys are more than welcome to join the Discord and chat with the great community there. And I will see you in the final one. Celtic also has ground qualities. I mean, you use the dragons how you want. I mean, you can do it your own way. The reason that I use it for archer is because archer is just how I built it. It was the first PvP thing that I really set up, and I was going for archer attack, so I went with archer. But yeah, you could do ground troop. No reason you couldn't. Absolutely. I use the Norway Ridge for ground. Oh, wrong one. Over here. So the one I use for ground is this guy. And no particular reason. I mean, there's nothing else for ground, so I use this guy. But I don't know. I find that ground troops, in terms of stats, are a little more forgiving than ranged. Range is essential that you really push them up, and ground is too, but I feel like it's a little more forgiving. So I went with that Celtic Dragon as archer, but you could do either one if you want. Does it make sense to add ground speed skill on defense general? I don't know. There's debate on that kind of thing. There are some things that I think are absolutely essential. Like, you definitely want to have range, and range as in like actual range, not archers. Range for your siege and range for your archers, because otherwise you are taken advantage of by people that have it. They get to fire on you first. So it's absolutely essential. What you choose for the third is really up to you. I did not go that route. I went for mine. I believe I went like something stupid like siege attack. Yeah, and I would change that. I probably still will change it at some point. Just, I'm not in a huge rush. So you could do whatever you want. If I were to change mine, I'd probably put ground HP, maybe. Or maybe I might even put mounted HP. I don't know what I would do, honestly. I'm not really sure. There's a lot of good options. I think the third one is really just based on your troops and your goals for defensive capabilities. But those first two, I would say, are essential for everybody. You should always have those. Okay, let's see. Do you think they should change the server system so only the top 5 with positive net get wings? I totally think so. I think it should always be about positive, about your net score. Because, yeah, there are a lot of people that will just go and they'll intentionally cripple the server just to get wings. But I don't think that's a win. If you have minus 200 million power negative, and then you only score like 100, I mean, you're giving away more points. I don't think that's pretty effective. I think it should be more your effective point gain. What else? Norman is asking about Queen Jindiox. I have a video on that actually, and it really depends on what you how often you use them. Like, if you are on there all the time, gathering full time, then yeah, go kings and do them, refine them very well for speed and everything. But if you're not on, like if you're lazy like I am most of the time, then maybe you don't want to use kings because the speed doesn't matter. Maybe you want to use some of the stuff that's going to improve the bonus, like you pull extra resources. Last couple questions, and it's almost 1:30 a.m., so I do need to go to sleep in a little bit, but I'll try to answer a couple quick ones here. Will there be an explanation as well, like server, like a video? I'll do one eventually. It's just I don't participate in server so much. I prefer to do Battlefield just because I'm really stingy and I don't want to lose troops when I could have prevented it, and I don't personally feel like the rewards for server are so huge that I need to participate. Yeah, you get a bunch of gems and stuff, but I don't know. I just prefer not to lose the troops in the first place. But that's me. Eventually I will do one, but it's not at the top of my list. Okay, what else? Okay, in terms of refining Queen Jindiox. Yeah, just do politics. If you look at my Queen Jindiox, I ignored everything else. There's no point. My game is lagging a little bit. I don't know why I clicked on Minamoto, but just refine politics. Only politics. Or sorry, cultivate politics. Yes. Thanks, Apollo. It is 1:30, so I'm getting tired. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, old man. Like if you're not like if you are consistently online and you're always sending your troops out, then you care about the speed, and the speed is going to be more valuable than bonus. But especially if you're a lower account and you don't have uh, huge access to materials, you're going to want to look at doing something like champions, for example. Extra resources from gathering. It takes so few resources. Throw those on your Jindiox, throw those on any gathering general, and you're going to be getting more stuff. And it's very valuable. Especially like even me. I'm still planning on changing some of my sets because I'm a little less active. So I don't need speed. I need extra resources pulled. All right, guys, I am going to take off. I'm going to close off the stream, but thank you very much for being here, and I will see you for the finals in a couple days.